It happened again. It happened again. One of my clients was in no contact, and at a certain point, he went rogue, did what he thought was the right thing without asking me, and yes, you know the outcome. He lived to regret it. So, what did he do, and what can you learn from it so it doesn't happen to you? Well, stay tuned and you'll find out. And welcome back, my beautiful no contact army. Have you been a good little soldier or a bad little soldier like my client that I'm about to tell you about? And if you are having trouble staying in no contact, be sure to download my app Silencio. The link is underneath every single video and podcast. And if you too would like to join our beautiful no contact army, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, and you're in. And to read our manual, go to nocontactsecrets.com, where you can read 2 free chapters before you purchase the book. Okay, so let me set the stage for you. My client had been in no contact for about 90 days, 3 months. It's a long time. He has an anxious attachment style, so it wasn't an easy 90 days. He would constantly email me asking questions because he heard nothing. This is the second breakup with this woman. She ghosted him the first time, and now she ghosted him again. So, what happened? Well, this woman's daughter contacted him, and she said that someone had said that he had been cheating on her, on his ex, when they were together. And he said, come on, you know me. Do you think I would cheat on your mother? No, of course not. And then she said, well, my mother's really upset. Can you contact her? Well, let me read you the letter that he sent me, okay? It'll explain everything. So he starts with, I played the part of a fool. I allowed Carrie's daughter to get me to break no contact. She reached out telling me how bad her mom is hurting. Oh, poor baby. She ghosted and now she's hurting. And I really need to reach out to her. Like you suggested, I told her if your mom is really hurting that bad, she needs to reach out to me. Exactly. That's what I told him. She believed that I was cheating and never even talked to me about it. She was on the verge of crying, so like an idiot, I wrote my ex a letter and left it in her car. Ew. I told her I really didn't understand the silence and about the chemistry we have, and that I still had feelings for her. Ew. What did I say to you guys about expressing your feelings, pouring out your feelings? If you haven't heard that video or podcast, I said the only time you should be doing that is on your wedding day. If you find yourself in a position where you feel you need to pour out your feelings, express your feelings, it's a bad sign. It's a bad sign. People do not care about your feelings. They only care about theirs. I'm talking about in terms of interest level, okay? Because she knew he had feelings for her, but she ghosted him anyway. So she didn't care about his feelings. So why would she care about them now? She only cares about her interest level. Her interest level, for whatever reason, went down, so she took off. Oh, and now it's coming back up, and now suddenly she's interested again. To carry on, so he left this letter, and he talked to the daughter the next day, and she said, yeah, my mom got the letter. And he's like, yeah, and nothing. And she just said, oh, well, you have to give my mom more time. More time for what? I just spoke with him last night. It's been a week since he sent the letter. What does she need time for? If she's hurting so badly, if she really thought that he had been cheating, and now she found out, no, he wasn't cheating, and he wrote you a letter, he pacified any fear she might have, well, what are we waiting for? What exactly are we waiting for? And she said, yeah, give her more time. He goes on to say, I didn't see the forest because of the trees. So in your opinion, how bad did I blow it? I know no contact starts over. Is it even worth it now? I made myself look like a first-class idiot. I failed no contact. I failed you, and I failed me. Yeah. That's the problem with feeling no contact. Nobody wins. Nobody wins. So what went wrong here? I asked him, I said, you knew you weren't supposed to do that, right? You didn't ask me if you should write a letter because he knew I was going to say no. I said, what pushed you to do such an insane thing? He said, because she was crying or on the verge of crying. So that's the problem. If you're met by tears by someone asking you to contact your ex, don't get sucked in. Now, obviously, if your ex shows up crying, okay, take that and keep that in mind. But also, what's their attitude and what are the accompanying words with the crying? But don't fall for someone's tears, especially if you're a guy. I know a lot of guys, as soon as a woman starts crying, oh, okay, whatever you want, whatever you want. Don't get sucked in. And this applies both in business and in relationships, because I follow a guy on Instagram. Some of you may follow him, actually. He's quite popular, Giordani from Young LA. And he had hired this guy to work on his outdoor patio, to put a fireplace, a fire pit, a gazebo, whatever. And he was doing a terrible job. He wouldn't show up when he was supposed to. He would show up, work for a couple of hours, etc., just not doing what he was supposed to do. And he would fire him, and then his girlfriend, not him, the girlfriend would show up at his house. Oh, Mr. Giordani, please hire him back. Oh, please. He's a good man. He does a good job. Please hire him back. I don't know. I'm just, I don't know if she had an accent. That's just my interpretation of the situation. And what did he do? He hired him back. And he's finally fired him, probably, I think, for the third time and hopefully the final time. He played himself. He played himself because of tears. And you know what? Sometimes when someone is in front of you crying, you got to be heartless. I know it sounds terrible, but otherwise you're going to end up crying. You're going to end up playing yourself. And interesting to note, these two people, both this guy's ex and the guy that Giordani hired, they both sent go-betweens. They didn't have the balls to actually come and talk to the person that they wronged. No, they had to send a go-between, which speaks a lot to their character, and it doesn't speak very well to it. So I just thought it was interesting that they both used a go-between. And also, in speaking to my client yesterday, he told me that after the first breakup, how they got back together, the daughter was also involved because she asked him to come to her house to help with something, and the mother was there. Oh, so it was all a setup. So I'm like, oh, so she uses her daughter each time she ghosts you. Now, this woman, his ex, and by the way, these are not kids. They're not in their 20s. They're an older couple, and she should know better. But she is used to abusive relationships. She's been married 3 times. And so she can't handle someone who treats her well, and she has to sabotage it. And so he has now been given strict instructions that he definitely is going to be asking the 6 questions. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can look it up. I'm going to put the link on YouTube in the right-hand corner. He's going to ask the 6 questions, and he's going to ask her to make it up to him by going into therapy. That's the only way this is going to work. Otherwise, he's going to get ghosted again. And it's not just, oh, you have to go to therapy or we won't get back together. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll go to therapy. No, it's you're going to go to therapy. You're going to do at least 4 sessions, and then we will reconvene and talk then and see. You got to be tough, because otherwise you're just going to get played again, and you're going to be wasting more time when you're dealing with someone like this, because it makes no sense. She's using oh, I thought he was cheating as an excuse, because think about it. If you're dating someone and someone says, oh, he's cheating, or he's got a girlfriend, she's got a boyfriend, would you just disappear? Or would you at least say, hey, are you cheating? 99% of people, even if they're a dismissive avoidant, which I am, are going to at least say, hey, I heard such and such. Someone said this to me. Is this true? They're not going to just disappear. And so she's using that as an excuse. Oh, well, she thought you were cheating. And you know what? I thought this is a brilliant strategy to use on someone else, of course. I'm going to keep this in mind for my clients. If they ghost someone, then they're going to pretend that they're the victim that, oh, well, I ghosted because I thought you were cheating. Oh, boo. It's a brilliant strategy, right? And I'm also going to change how I do my coaching, because when someone is very anxious, like this client, I'm now going to categorize them as high risk. And I'm going to make sure to explain explicitly why they are not to take action whenever they ask me a question. They obviously need more handling. They need to be reminded to stay in no contact, because I simply said to him when he said, listen, her daughter said, she's hurt, like, should I reach out? And I said, no, just respond with, well, if she's hurt, she can reach out to me. And if you're a dismissive avoidant, if you're a secure person, you go, okay, no problem. And you just say that and you don't take any action. But obviously, if you're anxious, you're going to need a bigger explanation in order for you to stay in no contact. Because now, obviously, this guy is regretting it. And it didn't have to go like this, but it did. So the lesson is, do not get swayed by someone's tears, especially if you're a guy, okay? Because sometimes people are manipulative with them, and they're crocodile tears, and they're just doing it because they know that most guys can't handle seeing a woman cry. So they're like, okay, just stop crying, just whatever you want. No, when it comes to your ex, and you know what? Sometimes even in business, you cannot be swayed by tears. Obviously, sometimes, yes, you can be swayed by tears, but you have to be able to discern that. And that comes with age and wisdom. Okay? So now I want to hear from you. How long have you been in no contact? And how is it going? Hopefully better than this guy. And if you would like my help to get your ex back, you can contact me at theartoflove.net, and we will send you the rates. The direct link is also below every single video and podcast. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening to this as a podcast, please rate and review. And finally, remember, love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.